When should I list my home for sale? It's a common question that I get a lot, but it's not one that's easily answered. However, running the statistics for the month of September, so something that I do every single month, brought something to my attention that made me realize that it's a question that I should answer and address sooner rather than later. Now, if you're a buyer and you're looking to purchase real estate, I made a video at the end of November in 2017, so go back and take a look at that video to help address that question specifically. But if you're a home seller, this video is for you. So something highly unusual happened in the month of September for the Etobicoke, North York, and Scarborough areas, that kind of ring of real estate that surrounds Toronto's core. In September, the number of sales actually declined by about 2% when we compared them to the number of sales in August. This is highly unusual, and remember that we use sales to measure the demand in a market. So we're saying that the demand went down. Meanwhile, the supply, the number of new listings, went up by about 30%. Now, this is normal, but because sales went down, that kind of shift in supply and demand went totally out of balance when we look at September and compare it to August. This is not something that happens very often at all. And I guarantee that there were people who were kind of ready to start thinking about selling their home in June that decided to kind of hold off and wait for the fall market, because the general consensus by a lot of consumers, I think, is that the spring and the fall markets are the time that you sell. Well, if you had delayed the summer and waited until September, the market conditions in general tended to be, or demonstrated to be a little bit worse in September than they were in both August and July, and that kind of defeats that whole kind of general thinking. So that leads me to this. If you're looking to sell your home, the best time to sell is the time that's right for you. Don't try and time the market. Don't assume that market conditions are going to be better during a certain season. Don't try and break out your crystal ball and try and figure out what the market's going to look like 3 or 4 months down the road. If you sell when the time is right for you, then you're operating in the current market conditions. That allows you to plan and strategize the sale of your home according to those market conditions, and that hopefully will help you optimize the sale of your home. Now, there are exceptions to what I just said. If the timing is feeling right for you to sell and you look at the calendar and it says December 20th, you may want to consider holding off, waiting for the calendar to flip to see if January might be a better time for you to sell, for what I think are probably obvious reasons. So I'm Jamie Harnish, Toronto Real Estate Navigator with Bosley Real Estate. I can't thank you enough if you've made it this far and you're still watching. I hope you found it useful, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.